Tapping her bracelet on the display next to the door, Claire waited for the computer to read her information. Flashing green, the screen finished processing the information on her bracelet, and the door to a temporary room opened quietly. Claire stood at the entrance, soaking everything she was seeing as she stared at the interior of the room. The first thing she saw was a short hallway before reaching the living area. On the left of the hall was a door, likely leading to the bathroom, and an entrance on the right that could be the kitchen. Compared to the home she grew up in and the place inside the fort, what she was seeing was a higher quality. Even something as simple as the lights on the ceiling was different, giving off a clean feeling compared to the yellowish tint often given off by home lights. As she entered the room with the door closing behind her, she looked down and noticed the stone floor and a rubber mat that seemed to be meant for shoes. Taking them off, Claire bent down and set the pair of shoes on top of the rubber mat. Though it wasn't something she was used to doing, it was a nice feature, and she imagined it would help keep the rest of the room clean. It really gives off a different feeling. I wonder if that's the elevated level of energy causing such a sensation. Claire talked to herself out loud. Claire wondered how Hannah was going to react to entering her room. I'll need to contact her later after chatting with my family. Thinking about her family, Claire said, Darlena mentioned that they were already situated inside their own living space, so I just need to dial them on the computer. Shaking her head slowly, the idea of just contacting people on the computer and talking to them face to face just seemed too bizarre. Stepping into the main hallway, she walked towards the entrance on the right. Peering into it, she said, "Yep, I was right." There was a small cooking area. Even though there was a narrow wall facing the hallway, most of the kitchen area was open to the living area. Inside the kitchen area were things to be expected. The only difference was how the equipment appeared more advanced than what was available in the world above ground. Though there are commercial kitchens available to test out various dishes, I could technically use this kitchen to practice. I can just bring the various ingredients from the simulation out of that place and bring it to the rooms or the commercial kitchens that could be rented out from the guild. Claire walked over to the stove and brushed her finger on top of it. In order to build something large enough to help us do more than survive, we'll need to enter into more fields than just building equipment. Sighing, the idea of creating a business wasn't something she was anticipating while studying during school. The plan was to head off to medical school, whether the same one as Hannah or a different one. But this entire time, I'd only thought about entering the medical field. Checking the cupboards, there were plenty of cooking tools. Enough to give a person a decent start with trying out new recipes after coming at a simulation with supplies gathered or purchased from either the guild or the auction house. Nodding at the kitchen, Claire decided it was time to check out the computer and get in contact with her family. There would be plenty of time to think about what other things she'd need to prepare in order to get ready for their future. Leaving the kitchen, she entered the living area. Like the kitchen, the area is filled with comforts such as a sofa, chairs, and a small table. Her eyes opened upon seeing the screen on the wall. Just like the displays they had passed while going around the guild, it had artwork images being switched out. The colors were vivid and bright. Is this because the room is slightly higher than the cheaper rooms? Claire wondered at the reason for the higher end products. Darlena had informed her and Hannah that they'd be receiving rooms that were one tier higher than the ones that adventurers could afford currently. I'm suspecting that it's to get us to become motivated. She shook her head, unanswered questions floating in her mind.